Subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for the latest updated videos.
Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel Query Solution. So children, this is a very short video today that I am taking up, and that is basically on the law of independent assortment. So in our previous video we had already learned on how to draw a dihybrid cross, and I hope by now everybody is able to draw a dihybrid cross. A very important question, children, let me tell you, with respect to your board exam. So you definitely need to know how to draw it, and particularly you need to know the differences in the ratio with respect to monohybrid and dihybrid. And in today's video, children, we are going to talk on the law of independent assortment. What is the meaning of this law basically? So even if you want to know all this into detail, do watch my video completely. And for now, let us start up with our video. Learned the dihybrid cross till now, you will yourself actually can tell me what is the meaning of the term independent assortment. Now let me explain you first of all what does the term means over here, independent. Now independent, first of all, we all know something which is not getting dependent on anything, right? And assortment basically means their inheritance in the next generation. Okay, so what is the meaning of the law, children? Let me just tell you quickly now. As you can see that when this combination of the dihybrid cross happened, there were these two different characters that we have taken, and then we had these contrasting traits basically based on which we have drawn this entire cross, right? And we have also seen that in the F1 generation we got a combination of the dominating traits which were there, which were all round and all yellow seeds, right? Now as you can see, children, even in my previous video I had raised this question to you that we had not seen any recessive character in the F1, but we have definitely seen these recessive characters that were reappearing in F2, right, after drawing this cross. So what's the basic idea behind law of independent assortment? This was the third and the last law basically that Mendel has proposed under his law of inheritance. And as per the Mendel's law of inheritance, the meaning is that whenever we take up two different combinations of the character, their inheritance in the next generation is independent of each other. The inheritance of yellow is not getting dependent on round, or the inheritance of round is not getting dependent on yellow. And that's one of the reason, children, that we see that in this combination of the gene which we have got in F1, we have just not got round and yellow combinations in F2. We have got 4 different possible combinations. The combination was not just round and yellow, but we also got round and green, wrinkled and yellow, and wrinkled and green. So what does this idea basically tells us? This tells us that these alleles have independently inherited in their next generation. They are not getting dependent on any one of them. Because in case if they would have got dependent, for an example, then only and only the dominating one could have expressed. But here we have seen all the different possible combination, and that's the only meaning of the law of independent assortment, that whenever there is inheritance of the alleles happening, the alleles and the genes do get inherited independently. They do not get dependent on each other and then get inherited. So that was all about today's video, children. I already said you it's a very short video. And in case if you are liking my video, I always say do subscribe my channel, refer it to your friends, and do give me suggestions on how you want me to improve, if there is any scope of improvement, which definitely will be. So do let me know and do follow my channel. Thank you.